हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल बी अ प्रोग्रामर में. So today we are going to see the programming logic section. What comes in the programming logic section? What are the MCQs? What are the different kind of questions coming in this section? And subject NQT, it comes into a subject NQT section. Coding section and this programming logic section are mandatory if you want to appear for any IT company. And if you haven't seen the videos I have uploaded related to numerical ability and reasoning ability, I have uploaded some videos and there are some materials also in the description. You can grab that materials to practice more because I am updating those material regularly. So before starting the video, I would like to show you one matrix. This is the matrix where it shows that most of the viewers on my channel is not yet subscribed to our video. So it is a request that please subscribe to our channel because it gives me a kind of support and it motivates me that you all are supporting my channel so much. So I make the content very good, and I try to express things as best as I can. So let's start with the today's video, that is programming logic section. So in this video we are going to talk about three things, and at the last of the video and in this video you will get to know what are the difficulty level of the question, like what is the programming logic section, what is the difficulty level of programming logic section, what kinds of questions are types of question. You will come to know that what are the major types. Basically I will tell you there are majorly two types of question that comes. First one is FUP questions, that are fill up blanks. Likely I will show you one thing, that suppose this is the question. In case some questions are some paragraphs has been written, then here will be one box, and in this box you need to fill the answer. That is the FUP type question. And the second question is the most common question, that is MCQ question. Question will be there, then some options will be there. You need to choose one option that is correct. So the next thing is that what will be approach towards the question. Suppose a question will come in front of you. So today we will see what is the approach towards the question. And let's start with the first question. The first question in front of me is, what is the complexity analysis of binary search? And these are my options. Okay, so it is a MCQ type question. It is very basic question, that is of binary search. So these kind of questions can also be asked because it depends, because there are many difficult question also, many easy question also, many moderate question also, because the whole paper is a mix up of everything. So this let me tell you that how can we solve this question. It is a very basic question. We need to only tell the complexity analysis. And if you haven't ever heard, or if you don't know about the binary search, then I will tell you what is binary search. Basically binary search is, suppose this is my array. Suppose this is my array, and binary search tells that if there are some conditions of binary search. Let me tell you that suppose this is the array 2 3 4 5 6 7. So see, this is the 7. In this array there are 7 elements, and the major condition of binary search is the array must be sorted. Okay, so this array is sorted in smaller to bigger form. Okay, so in this array the major thing is that we need to search. Element will be given in binary search, that is if I want to search 5, where is 5? Search element if is 5. When I want to search 5, then what will happen, that firstly the array will be broken down into two major and one mid will be calculated. One left term, one lowermost and one uppermost, and then the both, suppose the basic formula is start plus last by 2. Okay, so this is the major basic formula if you want to calculate mid. That is mid is nothing but this element that is in the middle, and then n by 2. If we get suppose if we get the mid, so this array is sorted in smaller to bigger form, and when I get element that is mid, when it is smaller than, so 5 is greater than, then we will go this side. If it was smaller than, then we will go this side. This is the major logic of this, and you might be knowing about the answer, that is O log n. Okay, so this is the very basic question. These kind of question can also be asked depending on your data structures, searching solving algorithm. So you must revise these things, and you must have an hand on complexity also. What is complexity, how it is calculated, these are the basic things. Let's go to the next question. So here as we can see that fill in the blanks, we need to fill up the blanks. we need to fill up the blanks and get the output. Here also some options will be given. So in this, as we can see, there are some fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks are there. So you need to select one of the option that will fill the blank, and you will get output as 8 and 114. That is, value of P will be 8 and value of R will be 114. Okay, so let's see how can we solve this question. So in this question, what we will do, we will apply all the options. Firstly, we will check this one, then this one, then this one. That will be most easy thing and most practical thing to do at this time. So we will do very fast. Let's see. So in this, as we can see, P is equal to 6 is given and Q is equal to 6 is given. Okay, P is equal to 6 is given and Q is equal to 6 is given. Then we need to find R. In this, as per the condition, that's 6 into, if we select the first option, that is P plus Q, that is 6 plus Q, that is 6 plus 6. What will be P plus plus? That will be 6. Okay. So after calculating this, we will get R is equal to, in this R is equal to, R will be our 108, and what will the value of P? P will be P plus plus. Here as we can see that P plus plus has been done. So it is a postfix increment. So after that, the value of P will be 7. So according to this option, this is not correct. Let's test the third option. We are testing, let's test the third option. So according to the condition, 6 into, okay, 6 into what is P plus plus? P plus plus will be 6 plus Q. Q is 6. Then first you will get 6 is converted P plus plus. The postfix increment has been done. Then you will get out 7 will be here. Okay, so in this you will get R is equal to 114. Okay, and what is P? What is P? See, I will tell you, P will be 8 because first you have done first post increment. 6 will go here. When it will go, it will become 7. Okay, it will become 7. Then after that, when you will use this P, 7 will be added here. That is 6 plus 7. And after that, when it will go after this and when it will be printed here, then it will become 8 because of postfix increment. Okay, so this is the answer. The option C will be the answer. So these kind of questions will be tackled like this. Okay, it is a simple question. I am telling you very slowly and very relaxedly. Don't think that I don't know this or I am learning something. I know that how to solve these questions, but I am trying to explain everything. Okay, so I will explain everything in detail. Even a small things will be explained in detail. So if you like these kind of videos, please like our channel. And one more coding question will also be uploaded. A video will come on coding question also. So be tuned. If you want that coding question and you want to get that coding question notification and some more videos related to job updates, you can subscribe to our channel. Go down and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon too, so that you never miss an update. And let's see the next question. The next question in front of me is we need to figure out the output. Okay, in this question also we need to figure out the output, and we've got this question. Okay, so how to solve this question? See, firstly we will start from the bottom to up. Okay, when we will start now, we will start from the topmost position and we will like dry run in our mind. Like अपने दिमाग में हम dry run करेंगे questions को. It will save our time, and also we will be able to answer the question very correctly. It will increase our accuracy when you dry run. Dry run is simply you are executing every line. Okay, I will do one thing. I will show you this output, what will be the output or how to solve this question in my Visual Studio. I will explain everything there, and I will tell also which option will be correct. Okay, so let's see in the Visual Studio. So see, this was the question. I will don't worry, I will also drop these codes and description and questions also in the description. You can also check out the description for more questions. You can practice more questions there. You can download some questions from there also and practice more. And let me tell you one thing, that in this line here, int I is equal to, let me start. First I have declared the header files. Then I have declared that int main void, that this void means nothing, we can also remove this void, it means nothing. And here we have declared int I. Okay, so what will be the value of this I? So see, this I will take a garbage value that is, it can take 0 also, it can take 1 also, it can take 100 also, it can take 255 also, 2055, 3055, it can take any value. Okay, let me run this code first and let me show you one thing. What will be the output? Just focus on that I thing. What will be the output of that I thing? When I will compile this code, I will get this, the output will be a programmer 366. What is this 366? I will show you one thing. When I will compile again, the value will change. I will compile again, I will run again, the value will change. I will run again, the value will change. It will change every time because this I is taking garbage value, and this is only being incremented here and printed, and it will always print a garbage value. So how can we see? And we can do something, that is, if we declare a static int I, then here you will get output. Firstly, let me compile this code, and when I run this code, I will get be a programmer 1. Okay, so here I is taking 0 value, it will take every time 0. Or else if you declare this I outside, that if you declare this I globally here, suppose I am declaring here int I is int I, suppose this much only, then also when you will compile and run this code, you will get the output as 1. Okay, so this is the basic thing that I was telling about. This is the only logic of this question. This is the major point of this question. And one more thing is there in this code. Why be a programmer is always printed? Why not learning by Anurag is being printed? Or else block, why it is not going into else block? There is one more thing that I will tell you. The basic thing is that it is a comma operator thing. It is because of a comma operator. Comma operator, what is a comma operator? Comma operator is basically a thing that takes the rightmost value. It will take the rightmost value. Comma operator is like this. Suppose a is equal to 2, 3. Okay, this is given. Then a will always take value 3. Then always value of a will be 3. You can also run this code. You will always get the value of a as 3. You will never get the value as 2. Or suppose if I declare here a is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here I will always get the value of b as 5. This is the comma operator. So in this code, like in this if block, you are always getting the if block as 1. That is true. And always the true block is executed. That is the major thing, that is the major logic of this question. So which option will be the correct option? That will be none of these. Because it will, because this I will take a garbage value, and it can be 255, it can be 0, it can be 122, it can be anything. Because I have shown here practically. So let's see what will be the next question. The next question is, so these kind of questions can be asked. So you need to practice this kind of question. You also get these kind of questions in the description also. You can check out the description. You will get some more questions, and these questions and the codes of every question will be uploaded in the description below. You can check out that. If you feel anything, like if you are facing any doubt, or if you are facing any difficulty in such question, you can also comment down. I will definitely reply to you. It can be late, but I will reply to you for sure. So let's see what is the next question. The next question is also of output question, because output question will be mostly asked because it is a MCQ type question, and it is a programming logic question, because programming logics and your skills will be tested here in this section. So do one thing, pause this video and solve this question. What will be the output? Pause this video and solve this. So many of you will get that in this question we will get always yes. Many of you will think it is a trick question. It is a trick question. You will get these kind of question. The output of this question is not yes. The output of this question is not yes. I am telling the truth. The output of this question will never be yes. I will tell you the thing. Firstly, let me run this program in the VS Code and show you what is the output of this question. Okay, so this was the question where a float has been defined. Float f is equal to 0.1. If f is equal to 0.1, then print yes or print no. It is a simple program, but there is a twist in this question. Many of you will think that the output of this question might be yes, or definitely it will be yes. So that is not the case. TCS will never give this easy question to you. So let me tell you. So firstly, let me run this program. For running, I will compile this program first. Let me clear the screen. I will compile this program, code5.c. Okay. So when I will run this program, I will get the output no. Why I am getting no? What is the reason that I am getting no? I will tell you the reason. The reason is that the kind of float, the data type, you need to know the basics of data type. That is, float will never take a value only 0.1. The precision of float is up to 6 decimal places. Up to 6 decimal places. Okay. That is the float. This line means float f is equal to 0.1 means f is equal to 0.10000. So this is the meaning of this line. This is the exact meaning of this line. Float f is equal to 0.1. This is the meaning of this line. And when you will compare this with equal to 0.1, you will get false, because equal to do a exact comparison. If it will be exactly equal, then only it will return true or it will return false. So that is the basic thing that you need to know. Okay. So this is a trick question basically, and you will get these kind of question. There can be trick question. There will never be a this easy question that only if block okay, the answer will be yes. That is not the thing. There will be a trick question. If you get this kind of question, you need to think that what we need to do, why these kind of question, what is the logic of this question. We need to check everything. You need to check everything. Okay, that is the basic programming logic section. So let's see the next question. So the output of this question will be which one? No. Okay, so output of the question will be no. That is the correct option. So what we will see the next question? The next question is pre-order traversal of a tree is 17, 13, 9, 11, 15, 19, 23, 21. What will the post-order traversal? So you might be thinking, what is this pre-order, or what is this post-order, what is this in order? You might have studied about the trees, the traversal of trees. Many of you might be knowing about this pre-order and post-order. So let me give a brief idea of pre-order and post-order. Pre-order basically, these are basically pre-order, post-order, in order are basically a traversal technique. How can a tree be traversed? So in pre-order, what is the basic thing? That is, the first one will be always a root. Okay. Then you will get the left node, then you will get the right node. Okay. So in the post order, what happens? In the post order, what happens? You will get the left node first, then right node, then the root. Post means the root is at the last. What is in order? The in order means the left node, the root, then the right node. This is the basic thing that is you need to know about pre-order, post-order and in order. So let me solve this question. So I will make a tree first, and a tree must be balanced. You need to make a tree that is balanced firstly. So in this question it is given that this is a pre-order. This one is the pre-order traversal. So let me build a tree first. Then we will be able to write the post-order very easily. So how to do that? I will show you. Don't worry, I will show you. Firstly, 17 will be taken as the root node. 17 will be taken as the root node because root comes first. Then the numbers that are lesser than 17 will go in the left hand side. The number that is greater than 17 will go in the right hand side. Simple thing. So what we'll do, we will make a big node like this. It is a rough work basically. We will write 13 here, 9 here, 11 here and 15. And what you will do on this side in the right node, you will get 19, 23 and 21. The numbers that are greater than 17 will go in the right hand side. Number which will lesser than 17 will come in the left hand side. Now in this 13 will be the root node. Okay, for the root node will be 13, and the number lesser than 13 will go in the left hand side. The number greater than 13 will come in the right hand side. So 9 and 11 will come in this side. 9 and 11. And number greater than 13 will, that is 15, will come in this side. Same will happen to the 19. The number greater than, there is no number greater than 19. The number that is 23 and 21. Okay. So 21 will come this side, it will be eliminated from here. So we will also eliminate the values. 11 is greater than, so it will come this side, right hand side. Okay, so this is the basic tree. Let me make a good tree so that you can visualize everything. So this is the basics. So this was the tree that we were making. This is the final tree, and we need to find out the post order. Post order is basically left node, right node, then root. Okay, left node, right node, then root. So let us traverse this in the post order. Let us see how can we traverse this tree in the post order. Firstly, let me write here post order. Post order is basically left, right, then root. Okay, so we will write the answer here. Let us start with the root node, that is 17. 17 we will go in the left hand side. We have the two nodes. Then we will go to 9. Then there is no node in the 11. Then 11 will be written first. Okay, then root node. Then what will happen? It will go to 13. Then 15 will be written. Then 13 will be written. Then what will happen? It will go to 19. Then what will happen? It will go into the right one side, that is 19, 23, 21 side. Then what will happen? The right node, that is 19. Left there is no node, then right node it will go 23. There is a left node, we will write 21. Then right, there is no right node, 23 will be written. Then 19 will be written. Then 17 will be written. So this is the answer we are getting on the post order. This is the basic way how can we solve these types of question. This is a MCQ type of question. So let us see which option is correct. 11, 9, 15, 13, 21. 11, 9. Let us see which one is matching. 11, 9, 15, 13, 21. 11, 9, 15, 13, 21. So this one is the answer. D. D is the answer. Okay. So this one is the correct answer. This is the way how can we solve the post order or pre-order, and there can be questions related to heap also. We will see a question related to heap also. Let us see the question, next one, that is the following code. We need to take the output. This is a very basic question that you need to tell. What we will do? We will do the dry run. This is the header file, okay. Int main void, a value is 10, x. X is calculated at a10. Then let us do the dry run. X is equal to a, that is 10, post order decrement, then plus, then pre-order increment has been done, then 10 also, then x will be equal to, what will be? X will be equal to 20. This is the answer. This is a very basic question that is mostly related to simple question that are increment decrement operator. You need to figure out, and the option will be B. 20 will be the correct answer. Okay, so let's see the next question that is related to the heap. Okay, it is a heap question. What is a heap basically? We will discuss everything. We will discuss everything from the detail, from the basics, so don't worry. What is a heap? Consider a following array. Consider the following array. An array has been given, that is 55, 40, 45, 48. This is the array, and we need to transform this into a maximum heap. So what can be done to transform this into a maximum heap? Max heap. What is a heap? Heap is basically, suppose this is the node, okay, root node. It is a root node, then left node, then right node. Okay, this is a root, RO. Okay. So in this, what is a max heap? Heap is basically that if root is given, if root is 16, then the numbers, max heap is basically that, then the numbers, the root, left and right, then the both will be less than what? The root node. If the number is 16, then here can be 10, here can be 5. So here can be 10, here can be 5. That is the basic thing that we need to figure out. We need to keep in the mind. The root node will be always greater than the left and the right node, and we need to fill the first level. Firstly, we need to fill the level, the first level, then we will go to the next level like this. Then we will go to next one, right, then we fill the next level, then we will go to the next node, then you will fill. This is the basic thing that we need to keep in the mind when building a max heap. So how can we build this? This is the basic question. How can we build this? So let me show you. Firstly, the first one, that is 55. 55 will be written here. This is 55. Then what will be written? Suppose if we write 40 here, okay, 40, then here 45. 40 45 it is greater than and less than, that is okay. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये चीज ठीक है, that the number, both the numbers are less than 55, it is maintained. Then when we will go to the next level, so 48 and 10 comes, and here will be a swapping done. 48 will go here and 40 will come here, and we need to do this every time. We need to do this swapping every time. If the root node that is 40 or 48, whatever will come, the root node will always be greater than the left and the right one. Left and the right node will always be less than the root node. That's the basic thing. Let me build the maximum heap. So this one is the max heap. Okay, so this one is the max heap. Here the root node is always greater than left and right. If we see 55 is greater than 48 46, 48 is greater than 40 10, 46 is greater than 45 and 15. So this is the max heap that can be built by this array. It was a very simple question, and we need to do this kind of question very carefully, and we need to figure out the things, how can we approach these kind of questions. Okay, let's go to the next question. The next question in front of me is an implementation type question. This kind of question will definitely be asked, and this kind of question I have given in the description also. The materials are there, and you can find these type of question where there are very much of question like this. So you need to practice this question. So let us see that how can we solve this question. So the question says that Arun wants to implement an image viewer application to view images in a given folder. The application will be able to display the image and will also know what its next and previous image are given at the point of the time, so that user can go the user can view next and previous image by pressing left or the right key on the keyboard. What data structure must be used? So here are some of the options as given: tree, queue, linked list, and stack. So in this question, the basic thing that we need to figure out is what type of keywords are given. As we can see, there is a keyword next, previous image. So we need a data structure that can store the next thing also, the previous thing also. So what kind of data structure can be used? So in this question we will use, there is a like we can't use tree, because it will always point towards the next node. It will not point toward the previous node. It will always point to the next node. What is queue? Queue is basically an array. It is an implementation of array where a endpoint and a enter point is there, where an value can be entered and from another side value can be dequeued. That is the basic queue. What is a linked list? So a linked list will be used. That is a doubly linked list, because a doubly linked list contains three things. That is the main value, that will be value, the next, and the previous address. So the option will be C, that is linked list. Let's take the next question that is also of similar kind. That is, Arun is developing a word processing software in which he wants to provide undo feature, that the software will maintain all the sequential changes, and at the point of time pressing Ctrl Z will undo the latest change. Which data structure? From this question you can see three things. There are the data structure, that is, and we can see that sequential changes, undo feature, and Ctrl Z to undo the latest change. So in this data structure you need to undo the changes. The latest change that has been made, you can undo that change. So you can, which kind of data structures can be used? The data structure can be stack, because in stack is simply where one end is closed and one end is open, where we place the things, and when we pop the item, that is Ctrl Z is there, then the latest change is being deleted. That is the thing that they are asking. The option will be stack. Okay, option D. So the next question is also of similar kind. These you will find more question like this in the description. So Arun is developing an IP telephony software in which the audio is encoded and transmitted by the sender as network packets through a communication channel. At the other end, these packets are assembled and processed further. Aisha not here also Arun recognizes that there may vary the number of changes unknown. The number of packets, this number is unknown, which will be processed while more packets are received. Okay. Order, arrive in right order. So in this question, there is given that we can't use first one. If we talk about array can store a limited amount of, suppose this is an array. We have to define, when you are declaring an array, we need to define that what will be the size of array. It can be 100 or it is 20 or it is 5. We need to declare that what is the size of the array. Q cannot be used because the size, Q and stack are the implementation of array. So we will need to define the array size. So what is left, that is linked list. In linked list, we never define that what will be the size of the linked list. Suppose we are storing some of the packets. Suppose this is a block. Okay, this is the block we are storing the packets. These are the blocks that are storing the packets. Okay, this is the line where 1001, 1002, 1003, 2000, 2001, 2003. Here some values have been stored previously. It is preoccupied. When you are storing in the linked list an address, there is a value and an address. Here the first address in doubly linked list, basically a address is there, a previous address there, the next address there. So what we need to do here in this question, what we will do, that we need to linked list. Why linked list? Because suppose we are storing here 1 value is stored, 2 value is stored, 3 is stored, 4 is stored. Sequential things have been now 5 has came. So we can skip this place and we can store here, because the right order is maintained by the linked list, and we can also store any number of values. The number of the size of linked list is not majorly, is optional. That this is optional, and we need not to declare that the linked list size will be 10 or it will be 20. So this was the major thing, that is number of the packets are unknown. The unknown things are stored in the linked list. So this was the basic type of question. So let's see what is the next question. The next question is write the output of the question. It is a basic question. This is hash include stdio.h void main. Some values have been given a, b, then a mod d, a and b. So pause this video and tell me what is the answer. Comment down what is the answer. So what we'll do, some of you will say that there is an error, or some will say that a value is 1 or value is 2 or value is unknown. So what is the basic thing that we want to do? What is the meaning of this line a and b? It is an bitwise operator. Bitwise operator is something that performs the value bitwise. So what we'll do, we will write some values first. So this thing will be required. When we are going to solve this, because we will use bitwise operator with the binary thing. So firstly we will write the a. What is the value of a? The value of a will be here 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, we will write the value of b, that 32, 1, 16, 0, 32 plus 0, 1, 1, 1. So this is the thing, and we need to perform the AND operation now. What will be the AND operation? We will start with a 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0. What will be the output of this? The output of this will be 4. The output of this line will be 4, and the option correct, that is C option, 4. Okay, so these kind of question can also be asked. So that's all for today. We have discussed everything, and if you need some question to practice, you can go into the description. You will get many questions to practice on related to programming logic section. One more video will come on the codings, how to do the coding and what are the things we need to keep in mind when we are giving the NQT exam. We will post that video also, and it will come soon. Being a lone warrior and a solo creator, it takes time to create the content, so it takes time to upload me the content. I am trying my best to upload the videos very soon, as soon as possible. So if you need any help related to anything that is related to any job, any exam, or if you faced any question, any problem in the question that I have been discussed, or any question in the description you are facing any issue, you can comment down and ask me what are the issues you are facing. I will definitely solve it. It may take time, but I will definitely solve it. You can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram ID is being displayed in the left hand side. You can also follow me there. We can interact there, and I am also posting many polls there so that it gives me an idea what kind of videos can we post. And if you like this video, if you understood anything, please like the video and subscribe to our channel to get the latest update, and press the bell icon so that if you never miss an update and you get the latest notification whenever we upload a video, you get a notification, and you are able to see that notification, because we are posting videos related to job interviews, related to job openings, related to any exam, any study materials. We are posting everything. Thank you for watching this video. We are going to meet you in the next video with another topic. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.